Be warned, this video will contain spoilers. Grey's Anatomy Season 21, Episode 14 might just be one of the best episodes the show has delivered in a long time, especially when it comes to patient cases that dig deep into both emotional resonance and character development. If you're a longtime fan of the series, this episode really delivers that magic blend of heartfelt storytelling and layered character work that made the show iconic in the first place. Let's talk about why it stands out. Simone and Bailey's case is hands down the most emotionally gripping of the episode. Their patient, Gabby, and her mother have this instantly endearing connection, and it mirrors the evolving dynamic between Simone and Bailey themselves. Watching Bailey shift from strict mentor to something closer to a mother figure has been one of this season's most rewarding arcs. That bond really comes into play here, especially with Simone still working through the emotional weight of her exit from her past residency. There's this unspoken pressure building, and just when it feels like Simone might explode, maybe confront Chase directly or pour it all out to Bailey, she takes a more measured approach. She turns to Jules instead, choosing silence and observation over confrontation. And that choice pays off, because then we get Bailey, ever the sharp observer, catching on all by herself. Her decision to remove Chase from the OR and bring in Richard and Lucas felt like such a power move. But it wasn't about drama, it was about growth. Bailey choosing to rely on her peers instead of powering through on her own contrasts so perfectly with Chase's ego-driven antics. It was satisfying on every level. Honestly, that one storyline alone would have been enough to carry the episode, but the writers didn't stop there. The other standout case involving Teddy, Owen, Jules, and Ben brings in a whole different flavor of drama. The patient, convinced he's just met his soulmate, brings a fun urgency to the case, especially as Jules scrambles to find this bug lady he's fallen for. But underneath that quirky plotline is a more serious thread: the fallout from Owen and Teddy's open marriage experiment. Teddy's meltdown in the OR is not subtle, and it's clearly not just about Ben, no matter what she says. Her emotions are all over the place, and the fact that she tries to mask her hurt with anger makes it all the more raw. Owen, surprisingly, becomes the more grounded one here. After the emotional depth of his connection with Nora last week, you'd expect him to spiral, but instead, he's patient. He's calm. He doesn't let Teddy's jealousy provoke him. That shift in tone makes Teddy's final emotional breakdown hit even harder. It stops being about jealousy and starts being about regret, maybe even guilt. And with the truth about Nora still hanging in the air, things are definitely going to get messier. As for Blue, Link, and Winston, they don't get quite the same heavy material, but their story still has its moments. The case leads you to believe it's just another thrill-seeking patient ignoring medical advice, but the twist about his brother adds a subtle emotional undercurrent that elevates the whole thing. Link continues to prove why he's such a cornerstone of the newer generation on the show. He's the glue here, pulling Winston and Blue into the mix, balancing out the emotional weight of the other storylines with his signature light touch and warmth. It's the kind of quiet but necessary work that keeps Grey's Anatomy feeling like Grey's Anatomy. If you've been waiting for the show to recapture that old spark, the cases that hit hard, the relationships that feel earned, and the drama that grows out of character rather than chaos, this episode proves it still knows exactly how to deliver. But what did you think of Bailey's decision to sideline Chase? Do you think Teddy's regret will change anything? And where do you stand on Simone's choice to stay silent? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know how this one hit for you, especially if you've stuck with the show through thick and thin.